Bad bosses can make you dread going to work. We are on the job today with Mita Mallick, author of a new book that's coming out, The Devil Emails at Midnight. Terrific topic, Mita. What are 6 bad boss behaviors?
Gosh, well, I think one of the most prevalent ones is micromanaging. I certainly suffered from that when you go from doing to directing for the first time. How do you coach someone and teach them versus redoing all their work and doing the work for them? I think one of the ones that we don't talk a lot about is the boss who actually spews a lot of toxic positivity. In my book, The Devil Emails at Midnight, I call the person the cheerleader, which is, goals are changing, the market's in flux, your competition is outpacing you, and yet the goal that you had that you needed to achieve, you needed these 10 things. Now you only have 4 of those things. And yet it's like, you can do it. Keep going. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And that actually really impacts morale and productivity.
What if you're working for someone the company likes and supports?
And I think that you have to make a choice for yourself. I have worked in my career for 3 bosses who really impacted my mental health. And one person alone can't change a toxic workplace culture if other people aren't willing to help. And so you have to make that decision for yourself, right? To say, I can't do this anymore. And I'm going to actually, in that case, craft an exit plan, a strategy on how I can move forward.
Share more about your story. How did you get out and away from a bad boss?
Well, one of my bosses that I talk about, her name, I nicknamed her Medusa. And I would tell you that was the first time in my life ever I had anyone scream and yell at me in the workplace. Like, I'd never had my parents, my brother, my husband, friends, no one ever treated me that way. And I think to have somebody who publicly humiliates not just you, but the team, throws tantrums like a toddler. This is the former boss who threw a Chanel shoe at a colleague. Thankfully, it missed her head. I mean, really sort of the makings of a movie. You can't make this stuff up. But you can imagine what happens is, at least for me, fear drives short-term results. I was scared, so I worked really hard because I wanted to deliver. But coming into work every day being scared takes a toll. You get tired. So you start to become tired, you become disengaged, you become less productive, and it leads to burnout. And I did everything I could to move on from that place, and I ultimately did. And at that time, I think we had a team of 12 people. They all turned over. They all left in the end.
I was once told by a friend, when you have a bad boss, you have to manage the manager.
I mean, I really activated my network. I think one of the things is, particularly when you're in a tough position at work, to ask for help and to let people know that you're looking, particularly your external network. I think that's really important. And one of the things I found was that my confidence was really slipping being in that environment. I didn't see the value in myself anymore. It was really hard to get out of bed and go to work. But I always advise people and coach people is to find something outside of work that sparks joy for you. For me, that's writing. I went back to writing. I don't run, I jog. I like to spend time with my kids. Find things, volunteer in your community, find ways in which you can remind yourself of your value and continue to rebuild your confidence, particularly in the workplace if you're finding you're being chipped away at.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.